Hello everyone and welcome to Carpool. Will we do? Just sing song? Will we just get some hits on the go? No, it's match day.
I've
Rangers
got
are
songs for you, Stevie, if you want them.
started already, ladies and gentlemen. It is match day. It is Falkirk at the Falkirk Stadium, and it is a bit wild. It's a bit wet. It's a bit windy. And Rangers are going to have to overcome these conditions. Celtic and Hearts winning yesterday, Amrit. This is a big day in the title charge for Rangers.
It really is, Stevie. Yesterday, neither of those two teams were great, Celtic or Hearts, and we can pick that apart. But listen, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect us because we just need to go and do what we need to do, which is come to Falkirk, get 3 points, and get up the road. The team that's out should be more than capable of getting the result. Some people are saying, and I think we spoke about it before the recording, that the whole stat about the three teams have only ever won in one weekend before, and the fact that they won yesterday, does that mean that statistically we'll drop points? Listen, I'm not interested in any of that, Stevie. We'll get the business done today. I'm convinced of it.
Rangers do go with Jack Butland in goals, captain in the side, and returning is James Tavernier. Dujon Sterling is out of the squad completely. Returning next to Nasajiga is Manny Fernandez, much to our delight in this car. Left back continues Jayden McHoma. Probably the back five we would have expected.
Yes, I think so, absolutely. Given the fact that Sterling on the plastic pitch probably wasn't going to be risked, I think, Stevie, it's a wise decision, and I think Danny Rowell's looking towards the future and the remaining 5 games after today. So you can understand why Sterling now has a fortnight until we play Motherwell. So Danny Rowell's probably thinking, just look after him, make sure he's ready to go for the remaining 5, which I think is the right decision.
Yeah, so it would have been a 3-week break for Sterling. He's not played the last week, so that's considerably enough for him, isn't it? It's probably more than he'll get in the summer, to be quite honest with you. Raskin and Chukwani are the midfield two, probably again the pairing we would go with. Up front is where it becomes questionable. Yusuf Chermiti comes in for Ryan Nadiri, who's out the squad. We know is injured for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it's going to be weeks. Behind him, Mikey Moore continues on the left. Asgard is also continuing, and coming into the team for Skov Olsen is Jerry Gassama. On the bench, Kelly, Suter, Aarons returns, Baron, Diamandi, Antman, Skov Olsen, Bayrami and Miofsky. It's a good bench. It's a strong bench. There was always going to be question marks over who he plays. Now, that's quite rotational. Moore could be left, Gassama could be right, Asgard could be in the middle. Gassama could be left, Asgard could be right again, and Moore could be in the middle. So there's room. Will they move about? Will they switch about, Amrit? What we do know is that they need to bring it. Gassama was excellent last week. He needs to bring that same energy. Tello Asgard, for much as we criticise him, has been involved, has made good goal contributions, has scored some good goals. We really need that today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think looking at that, it's a good point that you make about the interchangeability of those three, Gassama, Moore and Asgard. They will, I think, drift into different areas and swap around. Also, Stevie, it gives us the flexibility to go from the 4-2-3-1, and then maybe Gassama and Moore come inside. Asgard might then push up and play off Chermiti, or Asgard might come inside and Moore might go up and play against Chermiti. So you've got a little bit of fluidity and options where we can adapt and amend in the game depending what's going on. Chermiti up front leading the line. Listen, I want him just to be a little bit further up the field and have the faith that Gassama, Moore and Asgard will get the ball to him. He'll do a lot of running in the channels, we know that. Hopefully that will create some space for other players, because I'm looking at this, Stephen, I'm thinking goals wise it's probably not going to come from Chermiti, given the fact that he has been struggling with that final piece of his play, which is finishing. So hopefully if he can run and create more space for players like Gassama and Moore and Asgard to get into, they'll be the ones to bring us the goals, hopefully. But we've got ball carriers there, Stevie, which I like. We've got Gassama, we've got Moore. If Gassama can start this game the way that he played in the second half against Dundee United, then I genuinely think we'll be far too much for Falkirk to handle today.
Well, we know that Falkirk bring energy, they bring a youthfulness. They've got Barney Stewart up front, first time facing us, I think, this season. He's going to be a handful. We also know that Rangers are going for a title, and there's no excuses today. Fernandez and Giga back at centre half makes us all feel better. We've got the running power of Raskin and Chukwani in midfield. As you say, ball carriers up front. What I do want from Gassama, Moore and Asgard is to make sure they get close to Yusuf Chermiti. That is an absolute necessity. They cannot leave him isolated, because he does his work outside the box, often drifting wide and stuff like that and finding space. Yusuf Chermiti, it's unusual for him to actually be standing on the penalty spot. So if he's out doing that, they need to make sure they get into the box, and they need to make sure they do things like that. On the bench, We do have suitor to cover centre backs. We have Max Aarons at right and left back, Baron Diamandi in midfield. Then they've got Ant-Man, Skovos and Bairami and Miovski to come on in firepower. Plenty of cover there for all positions on the bench. So we're fairly well covered. But what we need now, 6 games, it's time to become heroes. It's time to become legends. Players can change their whole Rangers careers. Tello Asgard, who maybe is a bit slow and maybe a bit of disappointment in games at times, could score vital goals in this running. Yusuf Chermiti could morph into Kyle Lafferty, stroke Andreas Velika and fire us to this title. That's the way. If these players want it, it's right there in front of them. They have to go and grab it.
Yes, I would agree wholeheartedly. This is a test. I know we keep questioning their mentality, but again, the fact that our rivals have won yesterday, it's over to you, Rangers. Do you have the mettle, the character, the strength and the resolve and the resilience in your mind to go ahead and get the job done when it really, really matters? And I think they do, Stevie. I think there's enough talent there. You mentioned the bench, a lot of firepower coming off the bench as well. It's all there for them, Stevie. We play to our potential. If we play to our strengths, then we'll get the job done today, and I truly believe we will. So come on, Rangers, let's get right into these and get up that league again.
Yeah, well said.
Hi diddly dee.
Let's get it done. Rangers versus Falkirk coming right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the car after what was an epic game of highs, lows and funny moments which we'll share with you. Falkirk 3, Rangers 6. Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we were in the Falkirk end today, so that was certainly an interesting experience. Amrit, first of all, thank you for today, mate. Thoroughly appreciated it. At 2-0 down, we were looking at each other. There was key moments which we'll go through, but that was a roller coaster. 14 goals in 3 games. It's hard, really hard to deny that Rangers are hitting form right at the right time. Is there concerns about things? Absolutely there is, but that was a statement of intent today.
Stevie, a 9-goal thriller. It was like a pendulum swinging in all different directions, and I'll be honest with you, at times I didn't know how the game was going to finish. I was quietly confident even at half time, because you called it. You said if we go in at half time at 2-0, this game is done. So the most critical goal for me today was that Chikwani when he scored and made it 2-1. That really swung the momentum in our favour, because the wind, I'm not sure if our members and viewers at home could see the impact that the wind was having on the game, but it was a huge factor because it was strong and we were playing into the wind and into the sun in the first half, and you could see that Giga and Fernandez were struggling trying to gauge the flight of the ball in the wind. Combine that with the fact that the sun was in their eyes, we were really struggling at the back, but just the fact that we got out of that, Stevie, and we got 3 points is the main thing. And a 9-goal thriller, and scoring goals isn't our problem, it's the stupid goals that we give away that are creating the problems.
So much to talk about in this second part of the podcast. Rangers go 1-0 down. Calvin Miller goes down the right hand side of Rangers defence on the left. He was somebody that I called midweek and said I was worried about him against Tavernier, but I understand why Sterling didn't play. Danny Rule said he cannot play on AstroTurf. It's not even a question. So that's something we'll go into later on. He crosses it. We don't deal with it. I think McHoma possibly slips or doesn't deal with it at the back post, and Brogio just finishes it off. Falkirk lead 1-0, and at that point we can't break the press. We actually do break it after 2 or 3 minutes, and I said to you that's where it'll become in handy. But at that point the Chukwani pass to Moore went out, so we needed to kind of fix that. We didn't. Rangers go 1-0 down, and then it's very quickly 2 on 26. Again, we do not deal with it. We struggle to get it clear in the wind. We're struggling to clear our lines, and Yeats, to be fair to him, bends in a lovely right foot effort, and he's running onto it. He's got the angle and he curls it, and as soon as he hits it, we're looking diagonally on it. I'm like, we're in trouble now. And 2-0 down, and I thought at that point Falkirk knocked it about very, very well. Rangers did incredibly well to come back into it, but at 2-0 down after 26 minutes away to Falkirk, one of the form teams in the league, just beat Motherwell last week away from home. I've got to be honest, I was thinking if we don't score next, our title chances are bye-bye.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and we said that, and that's what was so important about that goal, because it was against the run of play. We did not play well at all in the second half. Falkirk dominated us. They were pressing with real purpose, and they were doing it in unity, and we were struggling to be able to play around that, Stevie. It was so challenging for us, and when we got that goal at the critical point just before half-time to give us that little bit of momentum and confidence going into the second half, I think that was a real pivotal moment in the landscape of the whole game. And then to come out second half and fire out the traps, Miovski on, we looked like a different team with two up front as well. It was so much more positive, so much more going on. We looked like a completely different prospect in the second half, and we just came out all guns blazing, and we got a reward when Chermiti got the goal and made it 2 each. It was, a really well worked goal. Gassama down the left hand side did wonderfully well. He went and he lost the ball, but then he regained it, so he showed that desire. That we don't see a lot of that from Jedi Gassama, Stevie. When he loses the ball, the hands go up in the air and he blames somebody else, or he looks at the referee, but he just kept the head down, won it back, got the ball across the box, and Chermiti was there to make it 2 each. So, and at that point I'm thinking, right, game on now, Rangers. We had the momentum at that point.
Yeah, going back to Rangers' first goal, there's debate about whether or not it went out. 100% didn't. We're right on line with that. So Tello Asgard has a shot. It hits the post. It rebounds out. Nico Raskin keeps it alive. He swings it to the back post. Jedi Gassama keeps it alive, heads it back over. It hits it inside of the post and rolls out. On a bouncing ball, I'm thinking to myself, honestly went through my head, we don't score from these situations, these scrambles, but it breaks to Chukwani. He leathers it in. And at that point at 2-1 at half time, I said to you, we'll win this game 4-2. We didn't win it 4-2, but I was confident because the difference in the wind, and we seen it quite quickly. There was a moment where the big Falkirk centre-half tried to dribble out, and he couldn't do it, and I think Falkirk got a free kick from that, but that was very early on. And as you said, Rangers just then pinned them in. Gassama gets released down the left-hand side brilliantly. He loses it. He takes on one, loses it, but then wins it back. Goes to the byline, cuts back, and there's Big Yusuf with, I think he flicked it in. Of course, he wouldn't just roll it in. I think he flicked it in. I would need to see it again if I'm doing a disservice, but he's Johnny on the spot after a honking first half where he misses a chance where he's played in for a free kick. Possibly, I think he's offside anyway. But then the pass, which would have released Gassama, he doesn't. We're literally saying he could be going off at half time. Fair play to Rule, he doesn't. He affects the game. It goes 2-2. And at that moment, Rangers are completely all over Falkirk. The third goal for me is an absolute work of art. Nico Raskin wins it. He plays more attacking in the second half. I thought he was absolutely terrific, but he's only terrific because Chukwani absolutely bossed that game from first minute to 85 or so when he went off. I thought he was terrific. He plays a 1-2, I think, with Asgard. Asgard rolls him in. He takes a touch, going in at the angle, and he just drills it right in the corner. And it was a lovely moment because everybody knows how I feel about Nico Raskin. He's somebody that I really like. And at that moment, Amrit had to put his hand across and just make sure that I wasn't sitting up.
Stevie got excited, that's what happened. I had to put my hand on his knee just to say, stay, we're in the Falkirk end, behave, just watch.
So that point, ladies and gentlemen, but a terrific goal.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful because I didn't think he was going to shoot. I thought he was going to square it across or like drill it across the 6-yard box. But what a connection, Stevie! Head down, drilled right across the goalkeeper, and then he's straight into the Rangers fans at that end. And honestly, they're all jumping the barriers and they're right in there. And I thought, you know what? I would have loved to be in that melting pot at that point, but we were at the other end of the ground. But just wonderful. And when Nico Raskin scored, I thought, that's it. We'll just turn the screw now. And we did. Yeah. We scored another with Miovski, and it's great to see the impact he's coming off the bench, because you made the point, Stevie, we're peaking at the right time, but the players collectively are peaking at the right time. You've got guys coming off the bench that are scoring, guys coming off the bench that are assisting, as well as the starting 11, and that's a great place to be in for the whole squad. And Miovski got a brace today, which is wonderful, so you can see that both your strikers, Chermiti and Miovski, did we miss Nadiri? I think in the first half, absolutely.
The press,
we did, in the press and the work that he puts in, but the fact that both of our strikers got a brace each today is really, really important. And then at 4-2, Stevie, we're thinking, right, okay, we're sailing now, comfortable.
That fourth goal though, Nico Raskin again involved in the heart of it. He actually bends it in, and I thought to myself, as soon as he hit it, I thought it's a goal, because it's one of the ones, if everybody misses it, that's going in at the back post. It doesn't. Miovski kind of knees it in.
Yep.
Hits him with his willy, whatever he does with it.
He's not you, Stevie. He didn't hit it when it was Willie.
He swings something at it and it goes in, and Rangers 4-2, and we're thinking we're all right. And then a moment of absolute madness from James Tavernier. Boy goes away from him and he just pulls him back. And I said to you, was it big contact? He's definitely pulled him. We were a bit unsure about the level of contact. Does the boy theatrically go down? Yes, he does. But at the same time, if you're touched, you go down. It's madness from James Tavernier. Absolutely madness.
I just don't think it's a nothing foul. He doesn't need to make it, Stevie. Just let the guy run. He wasn't in on goal. He was sort of halfway in the box, wasn't he, on the left hand side? And really all he's going to do from there is drill it across the goal. But I just don't think there's any need for Tav to grab him. I think he pulled his shirt. Maybe it was instinctual, but I just think someone of James Tavernier's experience, he's the captain, I think it was quite a naive foul to make, because it then puts pressure back on us and we're 4-3 and we're pinned back again. I just think it was completely unnecessary. Jack Butland really unlucky. Really gets a really strong hand to it, and we know what Jack Butland does on penalties, because his saving record on penalties is tremendous. Little bit unlucky, we go 4-3, but then Stevie, we go back up the other side of the park and we score and make it 5, and you're just like, is there anything this team can't do? Like
that was the colour goal, though.
That was it. And you know, we've questioned their mentality, we question their character. You've come from 2-0 down, you've been pegged back to 4-3, you go up the other end, you score. And honestly, I genuinely feel now that all the momentum and all the confidence is in the Rangers camp right now. It's ours to lose as far as I'm concerned, because you made the point earlier on this pod, 14 goals in 3 games. Scoring goals is definitely not the problem. Giving away silly ones is. Yeah. But if we keep scoring, I mean, if we are the team, Stevie, that says it doesn't matter how many you score, we'll score more, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. It was like Brazil 94. It was like, right, it doesn't matter how many our opponents score. If you score 5, we'll score 6. If we do that all season, I'm quite happy, Stevie, because we'll win this league.
That goal from Yusuf Chamiti comes within 4 minutes of Falkirk getting back to 3-4, and it's good play again by Rangers. The ball comes in, there's a massive penalty shout. I think everybody stops. It looked to me like it hit the boy in the hand. It stops, bounces. Everybody kind of stops except Yusuf Chamiti, and he just does something. He just drills it. He just drills it on target. It goes through Bain, and Rangers are 5-3. At that point, I'm very comfortable. I'm thinking, right, they won't. Rangers will kill this off now and kill the game and swamp it, which they did. Falkirk never really threatened. I think they had a shot that curled over the bar, but it was high and wide. Butland never had a save to make after that, and Rangers do add a 6th right at the end, and it's a terrific team goal again. Comes from the corner. I think it's worked out. And Fernandes, Ant-Man gives it to Fernandes, and at that point I said to you, run beyond them, and it's exactly what he does. He then feeds him in, and he just drills it across, and there's Johnny on the spot, Bojan Majowski, where you would expect him to be. Lovely goal from a Rangers point of view, drills it across, side foots it home. Rangers are 6-3 up. Another assist by Ant-Man. Of the goals today, we had assists from Gassama, Asgard, Raskin and Ant-Man, as well as 2 for Chamiti goals, 2 for Majowski, 1 for Raskin, 1 from Chukwani. And at times, yes, we struggled today to clear our lines, which we should have done better. I think there needed to be, especially for the penalty, Fernandes has it, remember, down left-hand side, with Megoma, who I thought struggled today at times. He got taken off for Max Aarons. And Max Aarons, showing all his experience, takes a yellow card when Falkirk were breaking away brilliantly, which we should have done last week and didn't. So I liked that dark arts from Max Aarons when he came on. Rangers were just... he
did it against Bruges as well, remember, Steve?
Yeah, he did, but for other reasons. But listen... Amrit, to kind of sum up this, we were 2-0 down today away to Falkirk, playing against the wind and struggling. I think that Tochi Chukwani totally stepped up in that first half. He drove the team on. He gets a vital goal, which is well done to the team, because I think they deserved it and they kept going. And that got Rangers back in it. 2-1, I was genuinely confident. I said on our group chat we win 4-2. I said to other boys we would win 4-2. So I was confident. I was really confident. Total manifestation. We're going to win this game, and Rangers did, but 5 goals in the second half was absolutely tremendous. Give me your overall impression. Also want man of the match, please.
So overall impression, Stevie, listen, nobody wants to go 2-0 down. We did that, but it's the response to going 2-0 down, which is really, really encouraging. We need to tighten up at the back, there's no doubt about that. Very careless, almost self-harming, Stevie. I think these goals are avoidable, and it's poor decision making at the back. It's dithering on the ball. We just need some no-nonsense stuff. Just clear it, empty the ball. This tick-attack at the back is not who we are. If you see a danger, just launch it, reset and go again. Sometimes we're trying to be a little bit too cute, I think, at the back, and then you see what happens. We get punished. So that's something absolutely Danny Rule needs needs to get through to these guys that just, listen, no nonsense, just get rid of it. Positives is the character, the resolve, the strength of mind that you need to come back from 2-0 down away from home when you know it's all on the line is huge. And they passed another test today, and we're scoring goals, Stevie. They're coming from everywhere. You know, it's not as if it's just one person. Everybody's getting in on the action. Everybody's getting assists. People coming off the bench contributing. We've scored 14 goals in 3 games. We're a point behind Hearts now. Our goal difference is miles ahead of Celtic, and I think we're 5 now or 4 ahead of Hearts, I think, off the top of my mind. So there's lots and lots of things to be positive about in this Rangers team. We've got 5 games remaining now, Motherwell in a fortnight's time. If we can put on these type of displays, Stevie, we'll be out of sight. It's not even about the remaining 5. We win our next 3, we'll win this league as far as I'm concerned. And man of the match for me, I think it's got to be wee Nico. Second half, he was just remarkable. He was tremendous second half. He was just like a bloodhound. He was a shark in the water, smelling the blood. He was just into everything, going forward, tracking back. He was making things happen, breaking up the play. There was a little bit of afters down on the touchline in front of the technical area, and Raskin's right over there getting right into them, which I love to see because it's passion, it's fire, it's desire. It means something to him. And you could feel that from him, and I love to see that from Nico Raskin. I love to see it from any Rangers player. So listen, we're in a good place right now, and it's all very, very positive. So I think we just keep on going, couple of weeks rest, get them over to Spain. They can spend some time together, really concentrate, focus, reset, and come back suitably refreshed and ready to go again for these remaining 5 games, Stevie, because it's getting to the tickly bit now, and I am extremely excited.
Yeah, who doesn't love being tickled? Man of the match for me, I am with you. Nico Raskin ran that show in the second half. Showed a fair amount of good trickery and his feet work and stuff like that. He passed a few. His goal was tremendous. You've chosen Nico Raskin, I agree with you, but I'm going to put somebody else forward for it. Tochi Chikwani, I thought was absolutely key today to everything we do. We've got a player there. Yes. See, when Nico Raskin leaves, he's going straight into that position, and I think there's now a shout to be able to say, Rangers, you can play Chukwani sitting and play Nico Raskin further forward, because Nico Raskin, the desire and the effect he had in that second half was unbelievable. So 2 really good shouts. It's nice to give credit to Miovski for 2 goals, Chermiti for 2 goals, Oliver Antman even coming on with an assist at the end as well. That desire as well from Jedi Gassama. Lots of really good positive today. We'll go through it more. The Sunday show's back tonight. The boys will go through it. We need to get out of this car because it's absolutely roasted, isn't it? So I've got redder and redder. But, final score, not quite 9-3 like it was at the Cards last night between Pamela and I. But it was indeed, and she'll love that from me saying that, it was indeed Falkirk 3, Rangers 6. That sounds mental. Falkirk 3, Rangers 6. 4 wins out of 4. 5 to go. I can't help but feel that Rangers are going to win this league, ladies and gentlemen. The stars are aligning, and I am feeling really positive and really good. Join us. We'll be back on the Monday night show. It'll be me, Amrit, and Kenny. Rangers are on their way. Danny Rowe.
Come on!
Danny Rowe.
The Four Lads podcast is sponsored by Rhino Express, Clydeview Joinery, Athol Industrial Solutions Limited, and CSD Air Conditioning, in partnership with Black Rooster and Art of Gold. Thank you for listening to or watching the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show.